Hola, and welcome to the Drama Club. On this week's episode, the YouTubers are back at it again with the drama. Everyone's back in Will and Jada's business, including us. We talk Ghislaine Maxwell, and Stef's got the story of the disappearance of Natalee Holloway. Stay tuned.
What up, fam? It's good, y'all. Feels good, right? Good, right? Yeah, I know it do. And without further ado, we broadcasting live from CA to
You know what's really sad? That Carl Reiner died?
Yeah. How old was he? 96?
96 or like 98 or something like that. I don't know. He was old as fuck. But old as fuck, still funny, still like...
Yeah, still funny, huh?
still working all the time. I think about Mel Brooks all the time, his best friend.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm like, oh God, like somebody please be there for Mel Brooks.
Yeah. I just saw that picture of them with the Black Lives Matter shirts on.
Yes. They had
that was dope.
They had dinner every single night. Did you know that?
That's awesome.
And they watched got together and watched a movie.
That's awesome.
Anyway, I always think about Mel Brooks because I always think like, what's like something that would destroy me? Like if they got Me Too'd, and I always think about Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was from a different time, and like I don't know, I'm always like that would kill me.
Yeah, they're close with Woody Allen too, right?
No,
are you sure?
I'm sure. Yeah, I know because Woody's East Coast and they're West Coast.
Well, according to Wikipedia, they're close with Woody.
Yeah, R.I.P. to Carl Reiner.
Yeah, R.I.P. That's a sad one. Lots of people giving shout outs to him.
Yeah.
It's never better. I mean, people are always like, oh, they lived a long life. It still hurts.
Yeah.
It's never any better. Does People Magazine have an in memoriam
Oh my
section?
God. I would make that my homepage.
Do you know anything about the YouTuber drama with...
Oh, Tati?
Yeah. Tati is a whistleblower of YouTube, bro.
Tati back at it again with the drama?
Yeah.
Well, this is what I know. Because people were doing that thing where they sort of like clickbait you on Twitter where they're like, got the breakdown of all the drama. And then it was like links to Breonna Taylor's petition. And
which
like
I appreciate that. But also I want to know.
So I guess Tati said in her famous video from last year, the Hey Sisters video, where she called out James Charles, that these other YouTubers pressured her into making that video. One is Shane Dawson, and then the other one is Jeffree Star.
Jeffree Star is problematic.
Yeah, right?
He's been problematic. I don't know why he's still kind of famous, honestly. Like,
is he a racist?
Yeah, like I know there's a lot of pictures of him with like Confederate flags and stuff. And he came out and said something like, oh, I just did that as like for shock value when I was young, which maybe, but I don't know. It's also like, I mean, you know, you're white male. He is gay, so
yeah, he's
not completely devoid of privilege or hold on,
struggle.
That's not the right, yeah, struggle. There you go. But still, it's not okay. And yeah, Kat Von D had a pretty public falling out with him having to do with racism, which I don't know that much about. I always wanted to maybe do an episode.
That might be a good one.
Yeah.
Because she's been accused of it too. It's like, and that's why people kind of point to them together as being like this little, yeah. Because I thought it was like I said, I don't know too much about Jeffree, but I thought it was worse than that.
It might be way worse than that, I think.
Yeah. Okay, that could be its own thing, I think.
He also kind of like something about him I just don't like.
Yeah.
Right? Like something about his whole image is kind of like, I don't know. He seems like he would be somebody who could like do something fucked up for his own personal vendetta.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And that's what Tati was sort of implying from what I saw, that he has maybe dirt on people or like sort of like blackmailing or pressuring that, like that's how she got pressured, like, oh, he said something like, oh, this could blow back on you if you don't do this. And I'm not going to watch it. I gave her my 40 minutes last year. I'm not going to give her another 40 minutes this year.
Dude, after that, so I didn't know who James Charles was. I kind of knew who Tati was because our friend Nane watches her YouTube tutorials and is way better at makeup than all of us.
Than everyone on Earth.
Everybody on this Earth. But I also watched the 40-minute video. And then after that, I was like fucking watching Tati's videos. Like,
oh, me too.
Yeah, like for a long ass time. Because I'll like put on a YouTube video while I work sometimes if I'm just dictating something easy. And so like her channel was like my go-to for a long ass time after that. Such good lighting, such good everything.
So I don't know. Like I am curious, but I want someone to break it down in a tweet. Like
Shane Dawson, also very problematic, just like through the grapevine, like from what I hear, like he has done videos in blackface.
Ugh.
He called out Willow Smith for some reason, and so the Smiths came at him recently.
No, he didn't call out Willow Smith. There was a video where he was in front of a poster of her and he was pretending to masturbate to it.
What?
And this was like a video, this was a poster of Willow Smith at like 11 years old or something like that.
That's disgusting.
And Shane Dawson is a grown-ass man.
Why? Oh, I mean, I'm not trying to hate. Like, if I was a YouTuber, I'd be like, this is awesome. But why are YouTubers a thing?
And why do they all seem to have this same problem?
I mean, I think there's something wrong with you if you're just going to sit by yourself and like record yourself. Mm-hmm. Like starting out, you don't have any sort of fucking fan base. So who the fuck are you talking to?
Yeah, true.
That's weird.
Well, it's like a diary.
A public diary, man?
Yeah. Like a blog. Like I don't know. It's just a video blog.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, somebody commented on one of our YouTube videos, "This sucks." I want to go in and just like it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Hey, man. Thank you for your honesty.
No, I was going to say thank you for taking the time out of your day.
Yeah, also that. Oh, man. That's hilarious.
Did you hear that FedEx, that is the name on the stadium where the Washington Redskins play, asked them to change the name?
That's awesome. I saw that Nike took down all Washington Redskins products from their website for sale.
Here's the thing that we've been asking for, unlike a lot of things that are happening where it's like nobody's asking
like
for that.
The voice characters and like taking the blackface episodes off shows where...
Of like the Golden Girls one was ridiculous. They were wearing a mud mask. It wasn't blackface. Oh, God.
Yeah, some of it's distraction, like you said. It's just like a little Band-Aid.
Yeah.
They're literally throwing us a bone, people a bone.
Yeah. And like a bone that doesn't matter. Like that Golden Girls, it really pissed me off because it makes us look stupid. Like, oh, this is what you guys want?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that. So the Redskins have to come to terms with that name at some point.
I know this is a stupid question, and I know that Redskins is bad, but I always forget it's derogatory against Native Americans. Why? Because of the skinning, like the hair?
It's like, what if like we called them the Yellow Skins and their mascot was like an Asian man eating rice or some shit?
I don't even know how to wrap my head around a lot of racism. Like, how do you have that much hate in your body? Or like, how are you that fucking full of shit? Honestly, you're just literally a pile of shit.
And like the Redskin things, we're almost desensitized to it because it's just been that way forever. That's why some people are like, why change it? Because it's just like, but no, why would you keep it? It's shitty.
Yeah. Oh, you know what was another thing that was funny? It is problematic, but Aunt Jemima.
Oh, yeah, Aunt Jemima. Low key, I'm always like, when I pass that aisle and I see Aunt Jemima, like it always makes me feel some type of way. I'm like, really?
It's really bad. It's really bad. And I did like she was like a slave and everything.
Yeah.
It's fucking horrible. But yeah. But yeah, like that was it is horrible. They do need to change that. But I was like, okay, syrup, like this is not the change we're calling for. It's long overdue.
Sure, but we're past that. Come on now. Like we got bigger fish to fry right now.
And I saw her family like coming out saying they wanted something, and I was like, that's how to fix this. Like, you know, they're probably fine with using her name and likeness, but fucking get them paid.
Get them paid, yeah, because she wasn't paid. She died like destitute.
Yeah.
And yeah, fuck that.
Bullshit.
It's not even real syrup, y'all. Real maple syrup needs to be refrigerated, just so y'all know.
Mate, my dad, I always feel so bad because he gets like honey from Mexico. And it's like, it's like, it's not real honey, baby. Like it's sugar, like, you know.
It's sugar water.
Or sugar water, just maybe it's diluted honey or something. Yeah. But he's always like, look at this big ass gallon I get for like fucking whatever, $10 or something. And since we moved out, he always brings some for me, and I just fucking have it in the garage, just like
no.
Real honey's fucking expensive.
Maybe you can put it in like you can get one of those bird feeder type things, and like
fuck no, birds make big ass messes.
Like a hummingbird. Hummingbirds come and eat that.
Don't they shit everywhere?
But hummingbirds have like little tiny shits.
We'll see.
I'm scared of birds though, so I don't. What is that phobia? Like oranthphobia or whatever the fuck it is.
It's called being a pigeon head.
Well, I buy this big ass raw honey from Lassen's. That shit is so fucking expensive. It's like the size of like one of those huge peanut butters, and it's like hard.
What's that one? The Manuka?
Oh, Manuka honey is so fucking expensive. I think that's a scam though.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure all this shit is a scam, eh? I believe it. I get so mad when I go to the grocery store with Hawa. I'm like, man, stay in the fucking car. Anything with like a modern label that's
in like sans serif or like one of those like an Arial.
He's like, this looks good. I'm like, you're so full of shit, man.
No, I love like anything that looks like it would be sold on Coop's website. I want it, and like it makes me feel like shit. I'm not gonna buy it, but I want it.
Hey, way to keep it real, man.
Let me live my rich white bitch fantasy right now.
Yeah. If you want to appease Black Lives Matter, break down Goop.
Oh yes,
Goop is the enemy, man. All right, I'm sorry, we got off track.
Well, we were talking about
how do we get on that?
I don't know, but we were talking about
Tati, Shane Dawson, and you brought up Willow Smith, which is interesting because there's also Will and Jada are in the news this week. Right. So August what? Alsina.
Is he a singer?
Yes, August Alsina, an American singer-songwriter from New Orleans, publicly said that he was with Jada Pinkett and that Will Smith gave his blessing for the affair that they had.
Mm-hmm.
Which there's always been rumors that their marriage is open, so it wasn't, I wasn't like, people were really shocked by this. I thought more shocked than I thought.
People were really shocked by it, but I think there were equal amounts of people who were like, y'all didn't know this? Because this is like it's
been known, I thought.
Yeah, that they're in an open relationship. And you know what I don't like? There are all these people that stan them as a couple. And I mean, I do too. And they stan them, and then now they're like, oh, I guess it's not how I thought. What fucking changed? They still built this beautiful family together of mutual respect. Their kids are incredible.
Yeah, their kids are incredible, actually. Like, even, what's his face who seems so stupid? Like, he's really incredible.
Jaden? Yeah.
Yeah, like, he plays off like this little dumb rich kid. Yeah. But he's really, like, they're just good people. All of them are really, really good people.
So, what has changed? What? Because
nothing. People are fucking stupid. They think that, like, something is a fucking notebook or fairy tale or some shit. Like, I cannot think of a celebrity couple that respects each other more openly than those two. Supports each other. Like, yeah, for sure.
And what they built, regardless of like who they fucking sleep with, is irrelevant.
And it's none of our business.
Truly.
That's one thing. That guy August, I will say, maybe why'd you come out with it? Like, isn't this some private shit? But I mean, that's between him and whatever. But in hindsight, they're denying it, right? Will and Jada.
I don't know, because Jada said she was going to bring it to Red Table Talk.
Yeah, which good for her.
Yeah.
I think, she's promoting her show, which people also hating her for her on that. And everybody was like, excuse me, there's a family out there who's been doing this for 18 seasons. The rhymes with smashing.
Yeah, that don't do shit for anybody.
Oh my God, did you see fucking Kim's tweet going viral? This is North's
the horse?
Black Frisian horse. We have 96 of them on the property in Minnetonka.
She's got she's a billionaire this week also, allegedly, too, right?
Oh yeah, that's what they said, but we'll see.
Yeah. And all of them are billionaires now? All of y'all?
I know Kanye.
Yeah.
The little one.
Y'all.
Fucking North is a billionaire. North out here slinging horses.
I would like to see it. I want to see them open their books. I don't believe it. I don't believe any of it.
Yeah, I don't believe a lot of it, like the show and everything,
So you feel some type of way about August coming out and talking about it?
Yeah, just like, why'd he have to do that?
I agree, but also like he did sound like real hurt.
What was he saying? Like, how did it even come out?
He was doing an interview with a homegirl from the Breakfast Club. I don't know her name.
Okay, fucking Breakfast Club, man. They're on it. They get some good tea on their show.
It's true. And he said that he was in this relationship, like you said, just like in this relationship with Jada for years, and that he was like completely in love with her, all in, and that when it ended, she just kind of like tossed him aside, and that he said he felt like dying. He felt like it was death. Like it hurt him so bad. But then he was like, as time went on, I realized that I am lucky to have experienced love like this. And I'll always hold that precious or whatever. So, I mean, he is, I guess, entitled to speak his truth, but...
Right, sure.
But it does kind of suck that...
You're opening secrets in the meantime, though. You could have said just I was with a married woman or whatever. He wanted the clout, too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because he has a song about her, I think, too.
I mean, if he doesn't, he's going to drop one. I'll tell you that much.
You remember when Robin Thicke made that whole ass album?
Yeah, thirsty ass Robin Thicke.
He fine, though. I want to fuck Robin Thicke. I want to buy something from Goop. I'm just letting out all my deepest, darkest secrets right now.
May, you like La La Land more than Moonlight. I ain't forget.
I do like La La Land more than Moonlight.
Ew, mate. That's so embarrassing.
I know.
Don't say that shit out loud.
I know.
I started watching Moonlight the other day, and I just watched, because it's on Netflix right now. I just watched the first chapter.
First Chiron?
He's a little boy still.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good. That movie's so fucking good. What is he in?
Who?
I can't say his last name. Or I can't say his first name.
Mahershala Ali?
Yeah. Is he in anything right now?
Right now, I don't know. Oh, he's going to be the new Blade in the...
Oh, okay. That's cool.
He
was in the 3rd season of True Detective. That was fucking good.
I did not see that.
You should watch it, man. It's good as fuck.
I did. He came to my attention in House of Cards. That's how.
Yep.
That's how I met him.
Me too, probably, actually.
He's super attractive, man. There's like...
He's so fine.
Something
he's
about him.
Something about someone being good at their job.
Yeah, true.
And he's got fucking style. Like, he dresses fucking great. That time for Moonlight, when he won the Oscar, he was wearing this dope suit.
Was that the time he had on the beanie?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he fine.
His wife is fucking beautiful also.
Fuck her.
That's funny. Okay, anything else? Bang, bang, the bitch is dead. How do you say this bitch's name? Fuck it.
Ghislaine.
Glah. Maxwell, like the cheap coffee, has been arrested.
Hell yeah, by the FBI, right? So it wasn't even like your local cop.
Hell no. Some big time shit. I saw who was it that was talking to you on Twitter last night that was like, this shit was calculated. Yeah, that was smart as fuck. Like, I never thought of it like that. But yeah, why the fuck would she come back to the US knowing damn well they're looking for someone to, some sort of justice in this story after Jeffrey Epstein allegedly killed himself?
There are so many layers to this that it just like lends itself to conspiracy. Like, I'm already like looking for
the next
shoe to drop. I'm like, okay, so why does she let that happen? Like, what
she has some shit set up for herself.
Yep. What is she giving up? What is she, I don't know.
Please let it be the president.
Oh my God. Eric Trump.
What happened?
He tweeted a photo because Ghislaine was at Chelsea Clinton's wedding.
Oh, I saw that.
And he tweeted the photo of her at the wedding with the caption, "Birds of a feather," which is the dumbest shit, because all of a sudden everybody started flooding his feed with picture after picture after picture of his dad with her and Jeffree.
Yeah. That's so creepy.
He's an idiot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. God. Absolutely. This sucks. I saw, well, so then they invited Prince Andrew to talk with them, right? But no, he's locked up right now.
Yeah, we're never going to see him again.
He's going to be in Bali with fucking Russell Simmons in a minute.
So our friend Cameron on Insta and Twitter said, when I said, like, why didn't she stay in Europe a la Roman Polanski, Cameron responded, because people are not forgetting and they're calling for her head in Europe too, which they might get, but they're not going to get any answers. Jeffree had a vault full of digital video of men having sex with women he introduced them to that was confiscated during the raid on his mansion in New York. Yeah, so then Cameron said if they're going to get to the bottom of things, they would have arrested Bill Clinton, Alan Dershowitz, or Prince Andrew.
Yeah. But you were saying he'll get pardoned, which is true. Like
Prince Andrew? Yeah.
Yeah, Prince Andrew's not going anywhere. He's gonna fucking die a prince.
Because could you imagine the blowback, like if the US arrested Prince Andrew? I mean, what does that do for relations between the US and UK?
Ruin everything. Yeah.
They need to deal with Prince Andrew over there. Like whatever they're gonna do, it has to be over there. They need to just
get rid of the royal family. It's 2020. We're not standing the royal family in 2020, guys.
Yeah, it's true.
We're over this shit. That's it.
If we could bring down Aunt Jemima,
we could bring down Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip. Except I don't know, man. They're like fucking. Those two are never gonna die, or what?
I mean, I keep thinking
Prince Philip fucking crazy.
Some Weekend at Bernie shit. Like every time I see him, he looks like shit, man.
He looks like an embalmed cadaver.
We lost Carl Reiner before we lost Prince Philip.
Wow.
Oh man. So what do you think is going to happen with Ghislaine? Like, so, I mean, she's in custody, right? Because you can't let her out.
No.
But they got to make sure nothing happens to her.
The whole Jeffrey Epstein and this whole crime, like, criminal syndicate? Enterprise like that whole thing is so frustrating because of Jeffrey Epstein's quote suicide, right? Like, it's just so like, are we ever going to get really, like, even though we have her, which I think is great, and I'm not saying that that's going to be a clean cut ending either, because I'm sure she has shit set up for herself. I just think the whole thing is really frustrating. Like, will there ever be justice served in a way that is going to satisfy us? I don't know.
No.
Just the fact that he's gone is like,
right.
Yeah. So I don't know. What was your question? I'm sorry. What do you think they're going to do? I don't know. I mean, she's got to give somebody up, right? Like somebody big.
Yeah.
to protect herself. I mean, that's the only way she's going to get out of this if she starts talking.
But then
she's got to rat on other people.
But will she be safe if she starts talking?
No.
You know?
I mean, they might try to protect her in some way, like...
Because this shit goes...
like the FBI, I mean.
Yeah, this shit goes all the way to the top. So if like word gets out that, Ghislaine is talking, she might... I mean,
she might never, turn up suicide.
Yeah, she might never get the chance to talk.
I know.
And if she doesn't talk, okay, so who is she protecting? And does that mean she feels safer in a federal prison? Like,
yeah, or back at square one.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's what gets so scary with a lot of these stories, or a lot of these just industries, even like, just like how far this type of power goes. Like last week or 2 weeks ago when you talked about Harvey Weinstein, like how far like power and money will allow you to just get away with really horrible things.
Does Ghislaine have money?
I don't know. Like, I really don't even understand her relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, because at times it looks like they're like
together.
Yeah, like romantically together. Like it seems like they loved each other, right?
Yeah.
But like how? Like romantically, platonically, like what's going on there? Did he take care of her? She didn't have like an official job title with him.
Right.
So what the fuck was her purpose other than just to like really like do awful things for him?
Yeah. His right-hand arm man.
Ooh. His little silly bunny rabbit.
Because, she's probably got a black book. Like, I mean,
fuck yeah.
If I were her, I would, just for my own insurance, have that somewhere, safety deposit box, something.
Yeah.
Shout out to Heidi Fleiss, who never gave up her black book.
Good for her, man.
This can go so many ways. And...
bring down so many people, right?
Ooh. I got chills thinking about what could happen. And even if nothing happens, like that's a scandal in and of itself.
Yeah. I remember seeing like the CNN thing, like Jeffrey Epstein commit suicide in prison. And I was like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Like, I remember being so fucking like just taken back. Like, oh my God. Like, because I think that also shows how fucking big this is.
Yeah.
Like whether like people have their thoughts on whether he killed himself for real or was murdered. Or either way.
Or they let him kill himself, which is the same shit.
The same shit. Either way, like that just speaks like fucking volumes, like how huge this actually goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That he really like couldn't even have it out there.
Mm. And then with Jeffree too, remember there was like a suicide attempt a few weeks before. And
so he was on suicide watch.
Which is like, oh God, that's the thing. So I'm like, somebody needs to be watching Ghislaine 24/7.
Yeah. Remember in Homeland, she goes into someone's prison cell and oh no, that's in House of Cards. And she leaves her scarf behind and they kill themselves.
Or was that Homeland?
Was that House of Cards or Homeland? Because in my face, I'm seeing, what's her face?
In your face.
In my face. In my mind. My mind breaks.
Claire Danes, but are you seeing
I'm seeing Robin Wright.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't remember now. I stopped watching House of Cards. Like, I think the last season I watched was when she was like, I'm leaving you. He was still the president. And then next season, I think it became all about her, right?
Yeah.
There was like
the last season.
Huge delay because everything went down with Kevin. So then I just kind of like forgot about it. When it came back, I just totally forgot about it.
I'd say it's not like that last season is not great TV, but if you're a fan of House of Cards, I think it's worth a watch. Also because I love Robin Wright and that character, like I stand that character from the beginning. So like
she's really great.
When she was at the end of that one season where she was like, it's my turn, I was like, oh shit. Like I got all riled up.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Well, let's look at the world. Here are the people of the earth.
Hi, guys. This is the Drama Club.
Welcome. This is the podcast all about scandals, celebrity gossip, open marriages.
Ooh. Movies.
TV.
Sport. Sometimes sport.
Syrup.
Syrup.
Fake syrup.
Syrup. My name is Stephanie.
And my name is May. Welcome.
I'm up this week.
Ooh, ooh.
So I want to talk about the disappearance of Natalee Holloway.
Oh my God, I was just talking about this. This is crazy.
What? Why were you just talking about this?
I can't remember.
That's so crazy. So that's exactly how it's titled on the Wikipedia page I used for this episode.
The disappearance of Natalee Holloway?
Yeah. A few true crime TV shows. I rented the first episode of Vanished with Beth Holloway, Natalee's mom, on Amazon. I listened to a Case File podcast on this and used this great Vanity Fair article called Missing White Female by Brian Burrow. Anytime there's a Vanity Fair article.
Yeah, I'm all in. I'm like, this is going to be a good one.
I went down a hole for this one and I hadn't done that in a while. So it was pretty fun.
Okay, I'm pumped.
Then on like, I want to say like Tuesday or Wednesday, Netflix dropped this new show called Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, yeah. It's a reboot of Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like all up in my true crime feels. I'm ready to fucking try out for My Favorite Murder.
Unsolved Mysteries was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And
I get scared, though. I'm stupid.
Well, I get scared of the music.
Me too. Dude, Case File, the podcast, that's what fucking scares me. Like, I was listening to it by myself. Have you ever listened to Case File?
Yeah, but I don't remember the music being particularly scary.
It's just like ominous sounds. And then the narrator is like a computer voice activate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
And so, like, all in all, it just kind of freaks me out. And I had to do it in shifts. So I was like, fuck this.
I have this tweet in my drafts from last year, I think, when I was watching Unsolved Mysteries, and I haven't tweeted it yet because this was literally what happened. Like, I was watching Unsolved Mysteries and then I walked out of the room, and then Robert Stack, the host of Unsolved Mysteries, said he had an IQ of 72 and he was known on the street as Crazy-Eyed Alex. He was known to associate with a man known only as Pinguino. And they're both wanted for murder. And then I ran back in the room. I was like, oh, hell yeah.
There's no host in the reboot.
What?
Yeah.
No, you need someone in a trench coat and like an ominous voice.
Yeah. Ice-T.
Yeah, Ice-T or Ice Cube, honestly.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, they should have them host it. Okay, let's talk about Natalee.
Okay.
So Natalee was born in 1986 in Mississippi. She had one brother, and they both lived with their mom after their parents divorced in 1993.
Okay.
Her mom, Beth, married for a second time. She married up to this dude named Jug Twitty.
Jug? She married up to a guy named Jug?
He was a wealthy Alabama businessman.
Okay.
And so then the family relocated to Alabama.
Did you hear about Alabama this week?
No, what about... No, I haven't heard about Alabama this week. What's up with them?
Okay. Fucking college-aged kids are having parties out there with bounties to the first person that gets corona.
What?
Like, they put up money in a pot, and the first person that gets sick from going to the fucking party gets the money.
Are you guys okay?
Is like that the most horrendous, ignorant, no, not just ignorant, stupid thing you've ever, dangerous?
How the fuck?
Jug?
Yeah.
Come get your mans.
Yeah. Louisiana, come take back we want a refund.
Why are you bringing Louisiana into it?
Because I fucking hate the Louisiana Purchase.
Oh. I hate the Louisiana Purchase. That's going to be the next fucking Afternoon Delight episode.
Fucking hate that shit. Natalee graduated from Brooke High School in Birmingham in May 2005 at age 18. She was set to attend the University of Alabama on a full scholarship.
Wow.
And she had dreams of attending medical school.
Wow.
Some things, like I want to say Case File said she had an 8-year scholarship, but I don't even think that type of scholarship exists.
Uh-huh.
Because this is 2005. This is like around the time we went to college. There's like 1, 2, 4-year scholarships, but...
Well, they could have been 2 separate scholarships, you know?
Maybe, yeah. Some reports also called her a straight A student. I mean, I hope she was.
Mm-hmm. Well, what good did it do her?
Yeah. Beth insists that Natalee never drank, never had a boyfriend, and never had sex in high school.
Beth? Huh. Let me tell you something. Actually, no, let me not tell you anything. Keep going.
Her parents paid for Natalee to go on a 5-day unofficial graduation trip with 124 fellow graduates to Aruba. Her stepbrother had gone on the exact same trip years earlier when he graduated. It's unofficial because the school doesn't help put it together, but there are 7 chaperones who go along with the students.
Cute.
The chaperones met with the students each day to basically like do a head count, make sure everybody was good. But according to the organizer, Jode Berman, they didn't keep up with their every move.
Well, I mean, they're basically adults at that point. I mean, they're all going off to school. Like, you're not going to be able to keep an eye on them in fucking 3 months, you know?
Do you think your parents would have let you do something like that?
Yeah, after graduation, yeah.
I don't think mine would have.
Really?
Yeah. I'm actually like pretty sure. I would have had to like lie or something.
Oh, like it's a school thing.
Yeah.
Huh.
And I don't even think, because I want to say they were all 18 and I wasn't 18 when I graduated because I'm a summer birthday. So I don't know if I would have been able to go. Anyways, just in my head.
Where is Aruba? I'm trying to look at a map right now.
It's off the coast of Venezuela.
Ooh. Aruba.
But it's actually a constituent of the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Okay. So they landed in Aruba on May 26th, 2005. The kids obviously partied like hell, drank a shit ton, and they were all hooking up with each other.
Hey.
The Holiday Inn advised the chaperones that the school was not welcome to return the following year.
Oh, shit. And they had been doing that for like
they had
years.
been going. So, you know, they were hella ratchet.
Congratulations to the class of 2005.
No, man. No.
Y'all did that shit.
May, shut up. Fellow classmates said that Natalee was basically drinking all day, every day. And her close friends admitted that the drinking was pretty excessive.
Okay.
The crew of kids would basically wake up and start drinking by the pool. And then after dinner, hit up the local trash chain bars. And like hotel casinos. Like all the hotels had casinos.
They got like a papas and beer out there and shit.
Similar, yeah. There's something like called Carlos and Charlie's. And that's exactly what I think of. And for a lot of these kids, this was their first experience drinking.
Yeah.
So they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And
you know, you're drinking, like, you're on vacation, so you're drinking those tropical ass
Mai
drinks.
Tais,
yeah. And those, like, can get away from you.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Fucking pina colada. What I would do for a pina colada this summer.
Same.
A mint julep.
I remember when I went to Puerto Rico, I was like, fuck yeah. Like, I never had that many pina coladas in my life.
I saw the video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. You did. So Natalee was last seen by her classmates on Monday, May 30th at 1:30 in the morning as she left the Oranjestad Bar and Nightclub, which was located inside of a Mexican restaurant called Carlos and Charlie's, which that's what I'm talking about. It sounds like a papas and beer type chain. She left the club with 17-year-old Joran Vandersloot. Joran was a Dutch high school student living in Aruba with his family, attending the International School of Aruba. She also left with Joran's 2 friends, Deepak Kalpo and Satish Kalpo, who were Surinamese brothers. Surinamese?
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to say that, but Suriname is a place. Right?
Yeah. Natalee was supposed to fly home later that Monday, but she never showed up for her flight.
Oh, damn. That was like, so she was still partying like up until the moment. Damn, that's crazy. You got a pack, girl.
If I have any advice for everybody, do not get on a plane hungover. That's the worst mistake of my life. Her roommates notified, that was same trip, Puerto Rico. Her roommates notified chaperones that Natalee had never gotten home the night before, and after it was clear she was going to miss the flight home, one of the chaperones stayed back to wait for her at the hotel and notify her parents. Her packed luggage, passport, and all her belongings were found in her room at the Holiday Inn. Natalee's mom called the FBI, 911, and her husband right after finding out that Natalee didn't make it back to her flight. She said, like, she knew, she was like, no, something's wrong. Like, there's no way that she knew her daughter, you know, that her daughter would have missed the flight.
Yeah, she's a responsible girl.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. By 5:00 p.m., Natalee's mom and stepfather were flying to Aruba by private jet. Beth, Natalee's mom, was on the phone with Natalee's classmates during the whole flight, trying to retrace all of Natalee's steps and get as much information as she could. Within 4 hours of landing in Aruba, they presented the police with the name and address of Joran, who they had found out she had left the club with.
Jesus. They had to get that information themselves from God knows where, and the police still hadn't had anything? Wow.
Beth said that the name Joran van der Sloot was given to her right away by the manager of the Holiday Inn, who recognized him on a club security tape. He was known as like picking up girls that were on vacation.
Yeah.
The police then went to the van der Sloot home and questioned him. Initially, Joran denied knowing Natalee at all. Then he gave the story that he had met her earlier Sunday at the casino of her hotel, the Holiday Inn. He said that she asked him to come to Carlos and Charlie's. So he went to go see her, and he told the police, quote, "She came on to me like a huge slut. So I did belly shots on her, and then she asked me to take her home."
Imagine thinking that calling somebody a huge slut was like the move.
Yeah, like this is the card I'm going to play.
Right.
He said that along with the Calpo brothers, they drove Natalee to a California lighthouse area of Arashi Beach because she wanted to see sharks. There, he said Natalee gave him a blowjob, and afterwards they dropped her off at her hotel around 2 a.m. This was then corroborated by Deepak, who was actually at Joran's house when the police showed up. Joran said that Natalee fell as she got out of their car but refused their help, and as they were driving away, she was approached by a dark man in a black shirt. Apparently, Joran's first interrogation and the story was told just a few feet away from Beth and her husband Jug, who were hovering around the police. So Joran's dad pulled him away because Beth's husband started yelling at them, and Joran's dad stepped in and he was like, "Everybody stop talking to the police." At this point, the police was pretty fed up with Beth and Jug because they, at first, I don't want to say they weren't taking it seriously because I don't think that's it, but tourists end up missing all the time in Aruba, and they show up after nursing their hangover, basically.
Oh, okay.
So the police was expecting Natalee to show up any moment, and they just thought that her parents were kind of being over the top.
Right. So they're like, relax. We see this all the time.
Yeah. So I don't want to say they weren't taking it seriously, but this is just, it's common out there. So,
Okay.
I mean, it is a party place, you know? That's like the nature of tourism. Search and rescue immediately began looking for Natalee. Arubian and American volunteers joined in to help the effort. The Arubian government even gave thousands of civil servants the day off to participate in searches for Natalee.
Wow.
50 Dutch Marines searched the shoreline. The banks raised $20,000 to provide volunteer aid. Beth and her husband were provided housing, coincidentally in the same room that Natalee had stayed in the Holiday Inn.
Oh, well, I don't know if that's a coincidence. It's like, oh, we'll put you in Natalee's room.
Yeah. Later, Beth was switched to the presidential suite of the Wyndham.
Hey.
The family posted a reward of $175,000 for information leading to Natalee's safe return.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do the van der Sloots have money too?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Natalee's mom, Beth, was really present during every step of the investigation, and she gave countless interviews, which helped this become the #1 international news story by the first week of Natalee's disappearance. MSNBC showed up on the island the first Friday, and basically every other news station followed, and they fucking stayed there. Beth became almost like the lead investigator on the case, moving along with camera crews, questioning locals, conducting searches, following any clues and tips she got. Natalee didn't appear on any nighttime surveillance camera footage of the hotel lobby, but the police said she didn't have to go through the lobby to get to her room anyways. So they still kind of thought she might have ended up at her hotel.
Okay.
The search for physical evidence was extensive and subject to some fake leads. For example, there was like a blood sample taken from Deepak's car, but it was determined not to be blood. So they had just kind of wasted their money and time on that. American law enforcement was then working substantially with the Arubian authorities, and Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice even made a statement that the U.S. was in constant contact with the Arubian authorities, and they were using substantial resources to try and locate Natalee.
Wow, they had Condi talking about this at the height of the Iraq War?
Right? On June 5th, 2005, Arubian police detained former security guards Nick John and Abraham Jones from a nearby hotel on suspicion of murder and kidnapping. According to the news accounts, statements made by Euron and the Calpo brothers were factors in their arrest because they said, remember that an unidentified man approached her when they dropped her off?
Sure.
Reports also indicated that these two security guards were known for cruising hotels to pick up women, and they had at least one prior record.
Okay.
They were released on June 13th without any formal charges being made, and the Arubian police never disclosed the actual reason for their arrests. Arubian law allows arrests to be made based on serious suspicion, but to continue to keep them held, an increasing evidential burden must be met, which has to be presented at a series of hearings. So basically, if they can't bring forth more and more evidence, they're going to let those guys go.
And they're also treating this as a murder now because they were arrested on suspicion of murder.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're like, all right, this is a thing now.
Yeah. We'll get into that.
Okay.
On June 9th, Euron Vandersloot and the Calpo brothers were finally arrested on suspicion of kidnapping and murder of Natalee.
Mm-hmm.
Police said that they were the subjects from the beginning and that they had begun closely observing them 3 days after she went missing, including surveillance, wiretaps, and monitoring emails. But Natalee's family put increasing pressure on the police, leading them to prematurely stop the surveillance and detain the three men. Natalee's family was pissed when the security guards got arrested. They were like, why are you fucking arresting those guys? Like, clearly it's Euron and the Calpo brothers. But the police, because like I said, they have to keep presenting evidence in order to keep someone held. They didn't want to risk arresting them and then go free. You know?
Yeah.
So Natalee's parents were pointing the finger specifically at Euron. Euron's dad was a lawyer who was in training to become a judge.
Mm-hmm.
So they thought that Euron's parents was pulling strings for him and had some connections with the police.
And it's a relatively small place. I can't even imagine tiny. What the population is of locals. You know what I mean? Like, not tourists.
Here, let's see. In 2020, the Arubian population is 106,000 people. That's ridiculous.
It's like how many people were in West Hollywood this weekend.
Yeah. While the investigation continued, there was a false report on June 11th that Natalee had been found dead. The statement was later retracted and they announced a misinformation campaign. That became huge. Like, that was all over the news, and then everybody had to take it back.
Fake news.
On June 17th, the sixth person was arrested. Steve Crows was a disc jockey who had been identified by one of the three others. On June 22nd, the police arrested Euron Vandersloot's father for questioning.
What?
Both Steve and Euron's father were released on June 26th without any information from the police being released to the public about why they were arrested or why they were released.
Okay.
But they had to have something to arrest.
Especially someone who's going to be a judge. Like,
yeah.
You know, my first instinct is he helped somehow in the cover-up, like, and...
The dad?
Yeah, the dad. So it's like, okay, we know that you're lying for him or something. Yeah, something like that.
Meanwhile, Euron and the Calpo brothers changed their stories again. All three of them now said that the Calpo brothers dropped off Euron and Natalee at the Marriott Hotel Beach near the fisherman huts. I guess this area is known as being kind of secluded and where a lot of people go to hook up.
Okay.
Euron said he didn't harm Natalee in any way, but after they hooked up, he just left her on the beach. The Calpo's brothers' attorney said that Euron then called them to let them know he was walking home.
So that phone call should be on the records.
Or something. I don't know. This is 2005.
Okay.
But yeah. At some point during the investigation, Euron then changed the story again.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
In this fantasy, Euron said that he was actually dropped off at home by the Calpo's brothers, who then took off with Natalee. And the police chief said, like, this is like, Euron changed his story right at the time when he kind of realized that the Calpo brothers were starting to point their fingers in his direction.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of an obvious redirection that he did to them, so they didn't believe him. And plus, the story didn't check out at all. And also, just for background, the Calpo brothers are black, and Euron is the super white dude. And police straight up said that they had a hard time believing that a white girl from Alabama would stay in a car with two black guys. They straight up said that.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Oh, I don't like this.
Yeah. Oof, I don't like any of this. This sucks.
Oh, God.
After the initial evidentiary hearings, the Calpo brothers were released on Monday, July 4th, and Euron remained detained.
Oh, okay. I know what I was going to ask. All right. So could this possibly be a defense in and of itself? I mean, I don't know what their laws are over there, but like here, like if you have few people pointing the finger at each other and there's no way to prove like who did it, isn't there enough for like maybe to convince a jury of reasonable doubt? Because like, oh, we don't know if it was like them or that guy or that guy.
Yeah, I mean, that's all circumstantial, but yeah, absolutely. Like just the fact that how many times has he changed his story already?
Yeah. He didn't know her was the first story. It never mattered.
Yeah.
Don't know who that is. That's a dumb. I mean, I think if you killed someone and you've been like out with them, like I think, oh yeah, I met her for whatever.
Yeah,
because there's
like
gonna be
something like flippant. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He's not a smart guy, but yeah. On July 4th, the Royal Netherlands Air Force aided in the search with 3 F-16 aircrafts equipped with infrared sensors that went over the water and everything.
Wow.
But the results came out empty. A local gardener then led the search to a pond near the Marriott Hotel beach. He claimed to have seen Euron attempt to hide his face as he drove into the racket club with the Calpo brothers between 2:30 and 3 o'clock a.m. on Monday, May 30th.
Mm-hmm.
Then an anonymous jogger came forward and said that he saw a few men burying a blonde-haired woman in a landfill the afternoon of May 30th. The pond was emptied and nothing came up, and then the police searched the landfill 3 times. They brought in cadaver dogs and everything, but nothing came up. Natalee's dad has this really sad interview where he says that this is probably like the lowest point in the investigation for him, like when they're searching this landfill.
Yeah.
Because it's like, best case scenario, my daughter's body is going to be found in a fucking landfill.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, man.
It's so fucked up.
This her dad or her stepdad?
That's her actual dad.
Uh-huh.
Okay. As the 2-month mark of her disappearance was approaching, Natalee's parents upped the reward to $1 million, leading to information for her safe return, and $100,000 leading to her remains.
Mm-hmm.
In August, the reward for information leading to her remains was increased to $250,000. So the FBI announced to U.S. residents following the story, like they did the OJ trial, that Arubian authorities provided its agency with evidence and information regarding the disappearance, and they were conducting their own investigation. They found a piece of duct tape with strands of blonde hair on it, and that was sent off to be tested, but the samples did not belong to Natalee.
Mm.
On August 26th, the police rearrested the Calpo brothers along with new suspect 21-year-old Freddie Arambatzis. Freddie had been involved in an incident where he took photographs of an underage girl and sexually harassed her. Euron and the Calpo brothers were allegedly also involved in that incident.
Mm-hmm.
The Rubian police then said that the Calpo brothers had been rearrested in an attempt to pressure them into confessing. And the prosecution did everything they could to keep all 4 men detained, but on September 3rd, they were all released by a judge on the condition that they remain available to police. Then on September 14th, all restrictions on them were removed by the appellate court.
Oh.
Because one of the things that they had a problem with was, like earlier you said, like, okay, so they think it's a murder now, right? But since they never found her body and stuff, they could never prove that that something violent had happened to her.
Right.
So it was like, you're keeping these men. You don't have any evidence that they've done anything. You don't have the girl's body to prove that she was killed or something.
Yeah.
So like, they just don't even know what happened to her.
Yeah. She could have she could have left. She could have, or whatever.
Drowned or something, you know? On September 15th, 2005, Dr. Phil, America's doctor, decided to take matters into his own claws. He showed hidden camera interview footage with Deepak Kalpoe, where he affirms a suggestion that Natalee had had sex with all 3 men. The tape was obtained by a private investigator hired by Dr. Phil. The police...
hold up. She had sex with them or they raped her?
He's affirming a suggestion that she had sex with them. I mean, they don't specify.
All right.
The police then had to air a full version of the tape, which shows that editing kind of had altered what had been said. Kalpoe actually shakes his head and says, no, she didn't.
Yeah.
The Kalpoes then filed a slander lawsuit against Dr. Phil, and Natalee's parents turned around and filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the Kalpoes. The wrongful death was dismissed due to lack of jurisdiction, and the libel case ended up getting dismissed also.
Yeah, but what the fuck is Dr. Phil fucking doing? If anything,
you're creating a fucking mess.
Yeah, you're muddying the waters. You're doing nothing. If you're trying to help someone, no, you're doing the opposite.
Yep. Euron then went on an interview campaign explaining his version of events, with the most notable airing on Fox News over 3 nights in 2006. Mm-hmm. In his Fox interview, Euron said that, so he's changing his story again. Mm-hmm. Natalee wanted to have sex with him, but he didn't have a condom. Then she wanted them to sleep on the beach, but he had school in the morning. So he said Satish picked him up at 3 a.m. and they left Natalee on the beach. He said that he lied about all of this at first because he was embarrassed that he had left her alone on the beach and he thought she would turn up. Kalpoe's attorney then turned around and said, "This is bullshit." Satish went to bed and he never returned to pick up Euron. So Euron, for what it's worth, he's a sociopathic liar or something, compulsive liar at least.
Yeah.
Or he just loves that he's famous, just even if it's for this awful reason, Yeah. And he just takes every chance he can to spew more lies and kind of keep him in the story. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Arubian authorities and the FBI interviewed more of Natalee's classmates back in Alabama. The police searched sand dunes on the northwest coast and continued searches through April 2006 without results. So now we're a full year out. The police chief later retired, but before doing so, he told the public that he believed Natalee probably died from alcohol or drug poisoning and that somebody probably hid her body. He said that Aruba had spent $3 million on the investigation the first year, which was 40% of the yearly police budget.
Wow.
Natalee's family starkly denied that Natalee used drugs.
Right. I mean, but what if it was the first time? You don't know what the fuck you're doing. And
of course. At Aruba's request, the Netherlands took over the investigation. Dutch National Police started work on the case in September 2006. Euron published a book in April 2007. He gives his perspective of the night she disappeared, the media frenzy that followed. He admits to his initial lies and apologizes for them, but maintains his innocence. On April 27th, the Dutch police searched the Vandersloot home in Aruba. They searched the yard, surrounding area, and they even dug into the backyard. Again, the police did not disclose what led to the new searches. Mm-hmm. Nothing suspicious was found, but diaries and a computer were seized and then later returned. On May 12th, the Kalpoe family residence was also searched. The 2 brothers were detained for an hour because they were objecting to the police entry, but nothing was removed from their home. On November 21st, 2007, Euron Vandersloot and the Kalpoe brothers were rearrested following allegedly newly discovered evidence.
Wow.
Euron was detained in the Netherlands, but later sent to Aruba, and the Kalpoe brothers were both in Aruba. On November 30th, a judge ordered the Kalpoe brothers released. The prosecution appealed the release, but that was denied. Euron was released without charge on December 7th due to lack of evidence he was involved, and again, lack of evidence that Natalee had died as a result of a violent crime. On December 18th, the prosecution officially closed the case and indicated that no charges would be filed due to lack of evidence.
What? Is that so that's they can do that? They can just close it?
I mean, yeah, that happens all the time, these unsolved mysteries. And then you're so far out. So now we're December 2008. So it's like, what are they going to find now?
It's true, but they can't just, I feel like it's shitty to just be like, well, we tried.
It's really shitty, right? They noted a continued interest in Euron and the Calpo brothers and alleged that one of the three had said in a chat room that Natalee was dead. This was all contested by their attorneys, but it appears that that was the reason for the rearrests.
Oh.
On February 3rd, Dutch TV aired a program about crime reporter Peter Veer's indication that he had solved the Natalee Holloway case. It aired footage from hidden cameras from a Dutch businessman and ex-convict Patrick van der Riem, who had gained Euron's confidence. Euron was smoking weed and said, unbeknownst to him on film, that he was with Natalee when she began convulsively shaking and then became unresponsive. He said he tried to revive her, but there was no success, so he called a friend who told him to go home, and his friend got rid of the body. This friend denied the story and brought forth evidence that he wasn't even in fucking Aruba at the time that Natalee died.
Oh, thank goodness for that, because that could ruin your whole ass life. Because this fucking liar piece of shit just wanted to throw your name in the mix.
Yeah. Arubian prosecutors then tried to get another arrest warrant for Euron based on these tapes, but the judge denied the request because the statements were inconsistent with all the prior evidence that they had obtained in the case, and it was just insufficient to hold him again.
And at this point, you can't believe a goddamn thing that he says.
So fucking incredible. Like crazy.
It doesn't matter whether he admits to it or denies it or whatever. Just like ignore him.
Yeah. And the dude, Patrick van der Riem, wasn't credible either. He was later outed as trying to use the whole thing to get rich. He ended up writing a book and then was arrested for hitting his girlfriend with a crowbar.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, just a total piece of shit.
The Dutch. What's up with y'all?
I know. Don't you know have nice pastries and shit?
Do they have nice pastries?
Yeah. Have you ever been to... That's a Dutch town, right? Solvang?
Solvang?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
They got pea soup and pastries and shit. So good. On November 24th, 2008, Fox News aired an interview where Euron alleged that he had sold Natalee into sexual slavery. He alleged that his dad paid off officers who learned that Natalee had been taken to Venezuela. He later retracted those statements. Fox also aired part of an audio in which you can hear two men discussing Euron's involvement in human trafficking. They allege that this was Euron and his dad.
At 17 years old, though?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whether or not these are really Euron and his dad has been denied by both of them and then, of course, other people that know him. And then Euron's dad died suddenly of a heart attack on February 10th, 2010. His dad's death allegedly led him down this super destructive path of excessive drinking and drugs. And he had been a partier before this, but there was definitely a shift following his dad's passing. On February 23rd, 2010, Euron gave another interview where he said that he disposed of Natalee's body in a marsh on Aruba. I don't even know how many times this dude has changed his story.
And now the case is closed, so he can
say whatever the fuck. Investigators searched the marsh and dismissed the story. The locations, names, and times he gave didn't make sense. In March 2010, they conducted underwater searches again looking for Natalee, but nothing was recovered. Then on March 29th, 2010, Euron contacted Natalee's mother's attorney and offered to reveal the location of Natalee's body and the circumstances surrounding her death for $250,000 with an advance of $25,000. So he hit an entirely new low.
Yeah.
Kelly notified the FBI and they arranged to go forward with the transaction. She gave the $25,000 and obtained information, but authorities said it was all false because the house that he said her body was in wasn't even built at the time of her disappearance.
He's sick.
He's so fucked up. On June 3rd, Euron was charged with extortion and wire fraud for the stunt. They conducted a raid of two of his family's houses in the Netherlands, and Dave Holloway returned to Aruba to follow up on new clues. That's her actual dad. But before he was officially arrested, Euron fled Aruba and was nowhere to be found. Natalee's parents were fucking furious.
Yeah.
2 months after fleeing Aruba and creepily 5 years to the day after Natalee's disappearance, on May 30th, 2010, A 21-year-old business student by the name of Stephanie Flores was reported missing in Lima, Peru. She was found beaten, dead, and decomposing 3 days later in a hotel room registered to none other than Joran van der Sloot.
Oh, man.
He had left without returning the room key and leaving the TV on full blast. Stephanie was less than a year from graduation at the University of Lima, and she was the daughter of a prominent businessman who ran for vice president of Peru back in 2001.
Wow.
They found Stephanie's jewelry, identification, credit cards, and over $10,000 in cash missing from her bags. Her family reported her missing, and hotel surveillance tape led them to Joran's room. Interpol issued an international arrest for Joran when it was believed that he was fleeing the country. He was then identified entering Chile on May 31st, and on June 3rd, he was arrested in Chile for murder and extradited to Peru.
Oh, thank goodness.
They found bloody clothes on him.
Mm-hmm.
He initially denied the murder and said he was going to turn himself in for questioning. An autopsy found that Stephanie had not been under the influence of enough alcohol to prevent her from being conscious, and that she had suffered blunt force trauma, asphyxiation, causing hemorrhage and a broken neck.
That'll happen, like if he got away with it once.
Yeah. She did test positive for amphetamines, but the coroner was like, there's no way to know whether or not she had been drugged or whether she took this purposefully. So he didn't want to add that in his.
Yeah, sure.
Joran's bloody clothes then matched Stephanie's blood type. On June 7th, authorities said that Joran confessed to killing Stephanie. He said that he left the hotel to go get coffee, and when he returned, Stephanie was on his laptop. He thought she was looking at information regarding him and the disappearance of Natalee, so they got into an altercation where she tried to escape. He said he then lost his temper and hit her, which led to him killing her.
Oh.
Peruvian police chief said Joran told them right away that he knew where Natalee's body was and he would help Peruvian authorities find it. But their interrogation was limited to their case in Peru, so they never got into details about Natalee's disappearance. On June 11th, Joran was charged with first-degree murder and robbery of Stephanie. On June 15th, Peruvian authorities agreed to cooperate with Peruvian investigators to interview Joran in prison.
Mm-hmm.
They allowed Beth to come question him and plead for information about Natalee. He never budged or gave any information. This is really sad. She posts video of this in her that show she hosted, Vanished.
Yeah.
And it's just he just doesn't give a fuck. And she's pleading with him, and he just never budges, never gives any information, just completely dead inside.
And what I don't understand is he's a monster because this is comparatively so little for him.
Yeah, just give her this peace of mind.
Yeah, just say one sentence. I killed her and she's here.
And you're already in jail at this point.
Who gives a shit? What? Oh, God.
They also searched his laptop, which showed Google searches for relationship between Peru and Chile and countries that do not extradite in Latin America. Mm. That'll do it.
Yep.
Joran pled guilty to murdering Flores on January 11, 2012, and was sentenced to 28 years in prison. While in a prison cell interview, he retracted his confession and said that he'd been tricked into giving it.
Okay.
Beth Holloway flew to Peru to be by the side of the Flores family and give her personal condolences during the aftermath of her murder. She said publicly that she was happy that Joran was finally rotting in jail, but expressed remorse that they couldn't stop him from hurting another woman.
Yeah. It's so sad that somebody else had to die.
Yeah. I feel really bad for Beth too, because she's in her gut, she knows that it's this guy from the get-go, and she's trying to get them to arrest him and keep him and convict him and everything, but they just can't, and so for her, that's gotta feel fucking so awful. As for Joran, he has been linked to a sex trade scheme involving a Dutch prostitution ring. It was found that he had bragged to his friends by email that he was recruiting young Thai women on their way to Holland for a finder's fee of $13,000. Allegedly, he was under investigation for these human trafficking charges, but he was not yet charged at the time Stephanie Flores was found dead.
Man, so they could have had him for that too?
Yeah.
Jesus.
6 years after Natalee's disappearance, on January 12th, 2012, a judge signed an order declaring Natalee Holloway legally dead.
Mm-hmm.
That was upon request from Natalee's dad, Dave, but Beth actually fought it. She didn't want them to declare her dead. But at the end of the day, it was like, come on, it's 6 years, you know?
Yeah.
So then Oxygen made a documentary show about what had happened on the night of Natalee's disappearance, based on an informant named Gabriel's claims. Gabriel claimed to be a roommate and close friend of Euron and said that he had helped Euron dig up, smash, and cremate Natalee's bones in 2010. Natalee's mom sued the producers of the show, saying that this was bullshit, harmful, and against all the prior evidence they had obtained in the case. In March 2018, the informant Gabriel was stabbed to death by a woman that he tried to kidnap.
What? Jesus.
Yeah.
Who are all these psychos? This is like a ring of psychos.
Doesn't it just like this story, this event just brings out like the worst men?
Yeah. Never mind. I don't want to go to Aruba.
To date, Natalee's remains have never been found. She remains a missing person, even though technically now she's legally dead.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they
What
do
was that?
man? A fucking firework, man.
What time is it?
It's so fucking dumb. It's some neighbors on this block, like every fucking night.
Mm.
There's a lot that went wrong in the investigation of her disappearance.
Yeah.
Her parents criticized lack of progress by Arubian police. But Arubian police criticized her parents for being too involved and hiding evidence that would impugn Natalee's character.
Oh.
Allegedly, her parents asked all the fellow students to shut the fuck up about the case and to push this picture of Natalee as like this Southern debutante.
Yeah.
They didn't want stories out there about partying or drugs or anything like that. Sex. Fuck that.
PR though, because then like, you know how people are. You know how the media is. Like they're not going to care if like she's a quote unquote slut or whatever.
They want the damsel in distress.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly, at one point, a woman had come forward saying that Natalee had gone to a drug house, but Natalee's family didn't want to fucking hear it, so they never followed through on that.
Ugh.
Beth, Natalee's mom, outspokenly claimed early on that one of the Calpo brothers or Euron had sexually raped her daughter, and she called them all criminals. This caused hella backlash from the Arubian police and the people of Aruba, who felt like it was kind of a racist position for this white woman to be in, and felt like everybody should be innocent until proven guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Beth urged people not to travel to Aruba and boycotted travel to Aruba, also leading to a ton of backlash from the country, who ended up turning on the family and kind of painting the picture of them into like these ugly Americans.
Yeah.
Arubian police publicly were saying that they were fucking tired of Natalee. They wish she would have stayed home. The police said amongst the biggest obstacle in the case was the family's involvement, pressure from the different media stories and distractions with the media, and pressure to make arrests without enough evidence. The Arubian police chief said that they were obstructed from the beginning in their investigation by U.S. officials who swooped in to save this white girl. The story was all over the U.S. TV networks, who spared nothing to devote hella airtime to this fucking story.
That's another layer to this. That's like,
this meant that the case was under a microscope.
Yeah.
So police were hesitant to follow through on leads that wouldn't appease the public. And the coverage on her was eventually said to validate the theory of the missing white woman syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
This theory generally argues that missing persons cases involving white upper middle class women and girls receive disproportionately more attention in the media compared to those with men or people of color. Mm-hmm. It's the damsel in distress, like I said.
Yeah.
This heightened media coverage then leads to more resources and more efforts by our police force and government to help find the women. This then functions as a reinforcement of racial hierarchy in the cultural imagery of the West.
Yep.
CNN outspokenly criticized the amount of coverage competitors were giving this story, with Anderson Cooper straight up calling it downright fucking ridiculous.
Mm.
Cases of missing Latino and African American women are significantly underrepresented, often never even covered, let alone fucking obsessed about like this.
Yeah, because isn't there like an epidemic of missing Native women in Canada and like of women in Mexico at the border? Femicide?
Oh yeah, the women in Juarez.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Juarez actually. Ooh, I went down a disappeared person hole this week though, and let me tell you guys.
I don't like, I mean, I like mysteries, but I like mysteries that it seems like you could solve, but disappeared people, they seem unsolvable to me. So I don't like it.
Awful feeling.
Yeah.
Like even just reading it, like it's like Natalie's story is so awful to me.
Yeah.
Like you have no answers, and I don't know how you find peace if you're involved in that family. One of the other things is that when we do see women of color or people of color talked about in these kinds of cases, the tone of coverage changes, and we see a lot more victim blaming than we ever would with Natalee. Yeah. And Natalee was partying like fucking crazy, you know? But they hella didn't paint that picture of her.
Right. They'll be like, oh, what she was doing is because she was doing drugs. And
yeah, she's like, a straight A student. She had an 8-year scholarship. She had a fucking 20-year scholarship. You know? Basically, the missing white woman has become a ratings haven. It's like a celebrity murder case where the media jumps on it like a reality TV show and they play out every single scene. This causes problems like we saw fucking stupid Dr. Phil step in. The Oxygen Channel made this own documentary thing about it, like all without the consent of the family, and it just leads people astray. Even comparing Natalee's coverage to the coverage of the death of Stephanie Flores, who Euron was found guilty of murdering.
Right.
Wholeheartedly believe that the only reason we even know that story is because of the connection of Euron and the Natalee Holloway case. Natalee's family obviously disagrees, and they felt that the lessening of coverage of Natalee's disappearing due to Hurricane Katrina in August 2005 was bad.
Oh.
The nonstop Natalee coverage finally came to an end when Hurricane Katrina struck. And they thought that this allowed Arubian investigators to release Calpo and Uran. Like that they took that moment to release them.
The get out of jail free card.
Right.
A hurricane.
Natalee's mom continues to call for a strike against Arubian travel. She's founded a nonprofit designed to inform the public to help travel safely internationally. And she opened a center to aid families of missing people in Natalee's name. One thing about Beth is she's never stopped searching for answers or for her daughter. And I think she went about it in an imperfect way, but I do give her credit for fighting when, I mean, I'm sure I would have broken down.
As a mother, I mean, like, I don't judge her response as a mother. You're scrambling, you're like flailing. What can I do to try to find my daughter? And you do whatever it is that you can.
And it may have been wrong, but like anything that she was doing at that point was just, you know, with the right intentions. Yeah. So that's the story of Natalee Holloway.
I don't like this.
It's so bad, huh? Yeah. It's such a fucked up one. Like, I think that I found out about Stephanie Flores, like around that time we were like in college. I think I was still in college. And it was just like such a weird gut, like bad feeling like, oh, like this bad dude did this bad thing again.
Yeah. But I thought when that case happened that, okay, we got like, this is somehow going to resolve Natalee's case, but
it's still
God.
Not. I know. Whew.
Scum of the earth.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, thanks for listening.
This week's Sad Ass Drama Club.
Hit us up on Instagram and Twitter at Drama Club Pod, on the website dramaclubpod.com.
On the hotline, 505-539-0556, at our P.O. Box number 27433, LACA 90027. Leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. Give us a tip on our website. And we'll talk to you on Thursday with a brand new Afternoon Delight episode.
Bye.
Bye.
However, whatever with your however.